So this video is about patience, and I want you to know I was feeling pretty good about myself right before this. For a minute here, it looked like I knew what I was doing. Flying, fighting, all of it. The game let me have that. But it was just being polite. I'm lag dad, I had a free afternoon, and it went mostly the way I had planned. If you're enjoying the journey from confident to humbled and back again, hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. So I decided to slow down and experience Powwow. I paid more attention to the puzzles in the game. I ventured out into the Sanctum purification quest. Learned the importance of research with my relationship with the Shy. I spent more time gathering materials so I could make better gear. Worked on upgrading abilities so my character could become stronger. Basically, do all the things I had been sprinting past while pretending I was making progress in the game. Anyway, here's the view from up here. Try to remember it was peaceful, because that's the last time the video will be this calm for quite a while. Crowcaller was the first big moment where I felt that shift. I didn't just run in swinging and dive around the battlefield. I slowed down a bit. I waited for openings. Bam! I stunned him when I had the chance, and then got my combos off when it actually made sense. But apparently I needed several boss fights in the comments section to arrive at "Don't attack constantly, lag dad." Thanks guys. After Crowcaller, I started getting more interested in the KuKu system. I've heard about some really cool items like spears and watcher packs, and this is the KuKu cooler. It is the most excited I've ever been about a refrigerator, real or virtual. Inventory space is a premium, so all my food lives in here now. So naturally I wonder, where can I find more cool stuff like this? And based on your comments, I found that they were tucked inside the Witch and Sanctum purification quests. So thanks. So after you clear the mobs, you want to go and find a couple of energy cores that are lying around the Sanctum. You take those back to the main apparatus, slot them in, cleanse the place, and then after that, the witch comes out and hands you a nice shiny new blueprint. This one was a laser helmet. I did not need a laser helmet. I've never been happier. At this point I'm thinking, oh, this isn't bad at all. So I'll roll up to the next one and start to clear that one out too. I mean, hey, I've got evasive shot, I've got a volcanic eruption now. Like, hey, I'm kicking butt. Now, I did notice this little label on the left-hand side, Antumbra sword. And I figured, sure, probably the reward, right? A sword for me for, all of my hard work. Well, it was not a sword for me. No, it wasn't. Then the cutscene starts. And whenever a cutscene starts in this game, something is about to climb out of the ground and ruin your evening. And here's where I stopped being patient. I got annoyed, started rushing, and committed to a volcanic eruption I describe as ambitious, missed it entirely, and he answered it with 3 hits and a funeral. Alright, round 2. Palmer pill, back to the basics. Dodge the waves, chip him with arrows, wait for the stun, get in with a combo, and boom. So I didn't beat him with skill per se, I beat him by calming down, which for the record is how I handle most things now. After getting spiritually adjusted by a couple of elite bosses, I needed something lighter. This is where the Wyvern arc kicked in. I put the egg in the nest, then I waited, and waited some more, made some coffee, and by the time I got back, hey, look at this guy. I think I'll name him Atlas. So what's the first thing I do? No, not feed him. Fashion time. So I'm back at the Greymane camp, dropping meat for Atlas, and my actual dog, Brownie, decides that this is his moment. That's my real dog, trying to eat the digital wyvern's dinner, and I had to physically intervene. That is the most accurate this game has ever been to my actual house. After that, I brought Atlas to my private lawn and kept feeding him there, because clearly we needed more of a controlled dining environment. Go ahead, buddy. Enjoy your meal in peace. I like to apply blinding flash to my steak at least a few seconds before eating it. Eventually, after feeding him over a few days, the option to grow him became available, and obviously I chose it. So Atlas grew, and he got massive. And at that point, my character had his close-up moment like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And honestly, same. Because after getting humbled by a few elite bosses in the game, raising a wyvern into an actual mount felt like the game handing me a win. Oh yeah. I climbed up, I took off, and suddenly the whole world felt different. Flying over Crimson Desert changes the scale of everything. The map feels bigger, but also easier to move through. Exploration feels less like a checklist and more like a possibility. And yes, I did VIP park in Delecia the other day. Also bought a saddle, because if I'm doing this, I'm doing it with back support. I used to think limited gaming time means I needed to rush, get to the next objective, beat the next boss, make obvious progress before real life calls time out. But Crimson Desert keeps making the opposite argument. The game gets better when I slow down enough to notice what it is trying to give me. If you got something useful out of this, the Sanctum blueprints, the KuKu cooler, the ancient art of waiting, the like button does help. And I'd actually like to know in the comments what you've named your wyvern. I'm Lagdad, Atlas needs feeding, and I'll see you in the next one.